baseball only show.
We are live and in living color. It takes a lot of work to look this great. Sorry about that. I had that green mask on. I had to scrub it off.
Yeah, you were looking like you were in the mask. It was weird.
That's why I was late. JML here.
Charlie here.
Charlie, the
I'm to your right.
I'm somewhere in the bottom. Frank
we
here.
have Cody. I don't expect anyone to watch the live of this, especially most of our audience is West Coast, which would be 6:30 in the morning. So
Well, if you're up, hello, folks.
yeah, you can catch the replay. Weekly wrestling verdict. We were supposed to do a look back in time. I don't know what we're doing anymore.
We're on the wacky road to WrestleMania. Anything can happen.
Listen, we have over 1,100 subscribers. We're like
awesome.
1108.
Thank you all, each and every one of you.
Yeah. So I bought a new camera and everything for my breaking setup. And it was funny because I knew I needed to upgrade it. So after my last break on Saturday, my parents were like, I think you should get a new camera. And I'm like, I already ordered it. It's coming today. So it's funny just like how like certain things, like the next step. And they're like, you have 1,000 subscribers, buddy. Like, you guys have 1,000 subs. Like, step it up to the big leagues. I'm like, okay. So we are on a road to the big leagues. Speaking of big leagues, look for a fantasy baseball league. We need members. We just have me and Fire Frank. It's $100 a team to play, and other prizes. If you win the fantasy league, you can join the channel. How about that? I'll make that proclamation.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You could join the channel.
Damn.
So if I win it, I have to quit the channel. That's the rules, right?
No,
Okay.
no. No, bottom.
I'm sure you're not going to win, so it's fine.
So bottom two can't play in the league the next year to avoid the tanking. If they want to play the next year, they have to pay in $200 per team per spot. Perfect. So it encourages people to not tank at the end of the year and give up.
We're doing a better job than MLB itself.
What show are we doing again? We're doing wrestling. Okay, so weekly wrestling verdict. We had probably the greatest Elimination Chamber event of all time as a whole. Am I?
I don't think we get a lot. Of arguments against that.
I mean, aside from shenanigans and Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar, it was a solid event.
I mean,
and even then, you had Brock just killing a referee, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, Brock losing his temper is always a plus.
The men's chamber match for the U.S. title, what a car wreck! Montez Ford, everyone got a little bit of shine too in that match, so I appreciated it. Even I call him Jonah, but Bronson Reed looked like a beast.
Yeah.
Like, it took how many finishers to take him out?
Yep.
Oh, no, they're very high. They're protecting him very well. It's like I said, I think I said in the last show, slowly but surely starting to get more reaction. They're building up with the crowd. They keep at it. They'll get over. Like, he didn't get over super fast in NXT either, so he takes some time. And all you got to do is make him look like a monster, because that's what he is.
Yeah, it looks like we're building towards, obviously, with the main event, the outcome of that, it looks set in stone. It's going to be Cody and Roman. I don't think they're going to venture off into a triple threat for the title.
No. I know a lot of people who are still praying for a triple threat, but I don't see that happening. I see it being Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos in night one.
And
Already taking steps towards that. Yeah.
yeah.
It's logical. Maybe sometimes the logical booking's not going to be everybody's favorite, but this is the whole story is going logically so far.
Yeah.
So no complaints.
For sure. I think with Kevin Owens in particular, what a dynamic year as a whole he had with the whole feud with Stone Cold, right? This feud with the Bloodline, and just how he can alter his character to be a face or a heel, but he doesn't really alter his character. It's really he's an unsung hero of the company. I don't think he gets as much credit as he deserves.
No, definitely not.
He could be 1 week the most hated heel they have, and the next week he'd be over like Grover. It's just ridiculous. Speaking of Kevin Owens, I got a Kevin Owens autograph in a break.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very, very happy about that. Are we going to get Usos versus KO and Zayn?
Yeah, definitely.
Does this lead to an Usos split after Mania? Are we just not going to see the Bloodline after Mania? Are they all going their separate ways?
That's a good question.
With the news that came out, Roman Reigns taking time off. Which, if you take Roman and the Bloodline out of the equation, WWE does have some positives going for it, but it's a huge blow to lose them after WrestleMania, which means it leads credence to what I said. The only thing you can do to make this really go is you have Cody become the heel, write Roman off that way, and then when Roman comes back, you have your anti-hero tribal chief that I think we all want to embrace sooner rather. We want to embrace that more than Cody. And I'm wearing a Cody hat. I love Cody. But we want to see Roman as a babyface in this character, not the suffering succotash, whatever they were trying to do 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect opportunity. You have a guy who you believe in Cody Rhodes. We know he could be a heel.
Big time.
I heard a few people talk recently in other outlets. They're like, Cody's the perfect babyface. And I'm like, no, he's actually a better heel.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's a perfect babyface in the WWE side. The stuff that didn't work elsewhere works here because they're able to rein him in. They're able to present the character differently. But his real strength as a top villain, which we haven't seen it on this major scale yet.
What babyface comes out in a suit? I'm just being honest.
No, you're right.
The working man. He's the complete opposite character of his father. He really is. That's why he's the American nightmare. He's not the American dream. He's the American nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
I
just want to see it. I want to see.
Let's go.
You've talked me into it. I mean, I think it's going to happen sooner or later. But
sorry, I missed. Bradley C commented.
Oh,
Bradley C, one of our channel supporters. Speaking of channel support, I think in about a month or so, we will have channel memberships via YouTube. Stay tuned for that. Elimination Chamber, I think, was the best one they've ever had. The women's match was good. We kind of knew where that was going.
Yeah.
Oh,
they worked hard.
I called it about what?
Yeah,
5 weeks ago.
It's the only logical answer, but they worked very hard in that match. There's some cool spots. It wasn't as good as the men's, but I thought it was one of the better women's ones they've had.
Yeah.
And even the men's, I thought that might have been the best men's chamber match in a while.
Did you see Carmella on social media complaining about her 2K3 rating? and calling everyone
No.
like video game nerds that don't know my work ethic and all this garbage.
Oh, was she in character or not?
No, it was a real.
I was gonna say because I know a lot of people have been joking about that. I know Jimmy and Jay Uso had something to say about their rankings. Oh, really? Like that's another one of my favorite things. People, actual wrestlers doing it when hearing fans argue over rankings in a video game is the silliest thing. But yeah, that's kind of I didn't hear that. I just heard her on her husband's podcast this week. It's a very interesting story. How sad story actually about why she was gone for so long. So I do recommend listening to that. But I'm sad to hear she's worrying about her ranking in a game where rankings don't really, the number overall doesn't really do anything. I guess it does, but really.
Oh,
Roman Reigns is a 99.
We got people complaining about rankings. They're complaining that somebody's not in the game without realizing there's cutoff points. And again,
why? Who's not in the game?
I don't know. They're saying, oh, how come so and so like somebody just returned a month ago is not going to be in the game.
No.
But
that's why they
complain about, it's outdated. They're complaining about your girl Cora Jade. Oh, why she's got her old gimmick. I said again, they don't do this.
That's why they have DLC packages.
Right. I mean, they're working hard. And that's not just because my boy works on 2K at the showcase mode, but I'm just saying it's very hard. Relax, guys. And Carmella, relax. You're ranking in the game. Relax.
Ranking.
The Chamber, she had a good showing. But before that, when's the last time she had a serious run?
Yeah.
And she had the tag titles. I'm not counting that because it wasn't a serious run.
Honestly,
I do like they changed her character back.
Her best run was with
initial run. Yeah. I kind of like they kind of brought that character back and versus whatever she was trying to do before that recently. The mask on her face and that wasn't really her.
It seemed like she got the Emelina character.
Yeah,
on that.
Didn't really fit her.
Speaking of awards, speaking of rankings, speaking of wrestling news, the Holy Bible, which is called the Wrestling Observer, released their award results. Wrestler of the Year was John the Sandman Moxley. He got 498 first place votes. Let me see if I can hold on. Let me bring this up.
To be fair, he did finish in my top 3 on the Verdict Awards, but not number 1.
Bring this up. Look at that. I like that view. It's cool. John Moxley, 2022 Wrestler of the Year. Roman Reigns.
Surprised Roman was in it.
All right, first of all, 3, 4, 5. Who the hell are they?
Ooh, we know who Will Ospreay is. Ospreay.
What have they drawn?
Okada. I don't know who Sayuri is.
Okada.
That's actually a female wrestler.
Oh, I don't know who she is.
I believe.
Is that the one that's facing Mercedes?
I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
She's facing Mercedes. I think she's got the title shot against Mercedes. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so too. Don't quote me on it.
Uh-oh.
Most outstanding wrestler, Will Ospreay.
Moxley drops all the way down. What's the difference? Wait. Wrestler of the Year and most outstanding?
If you
what's the
watch
difference?
Wrestling and you don't vote Roman Reigns as the Wrestler of the Year, you need your head examined. You really do. I'm sorry.
Doesn't have
You
the
tell me
moveset,
I can
brother.
watch. You watch
Doesn't have
a
the
match
moveset, brother.
with
I'm gonna get
Okada.
myself in trouble.
You watch an Okada, an Ospreay flip match, and you think that's better than the storytelling that Roman Reigns does in the ring?
Yeah, I can appreciate some. I've seen some Ospreay matches. I've seen him live a couple of times. I can appreciate that stuff. But when you've got, I don't know.
The Elimination
Work
Chamber.
rate, brother.
Going back to Elimination Chamber, it was the
People
biggest
made it.
revenue generating Elimination Chamber of all time.
Yep.
The Royal Rumble, also the same thing. Survivor Series, the same thing. SummerSlam, the same thing. You know what's going to happen at WrestleMania? The
Yes.
same thing.
They already broke
Who's
the
the
gate record.
Who's the headliner? Who's the headliner?
Yeah. There you go.
I'm going to say it now. He's the greatest WWE champion of all time, bar none. People will say, well, they don't get the same television ratings. Look at all the clips that are on social media.
Well, nobody does. Nobody gets those numbers because people don't have the cable viewership is down all across the board. So that's kind of a
People consume television
bad
differently, or
comparison.
they consume a product differently now.
like you said, those clips online. That would be a bigger driving point, in my opinion, because that's a lot of people who don't even watch the show will get their information from watching these clips on social
How
media.
are the Usos number 4?
Yeah, so that's
Well, I mean,
they
FTR,
were actually
I mean,
smart because FTR was my tag team of the
and
year.
mine as well. Not Charlie's, but yeah.
And I could see the Briscoes being second.
Yeah, and
But
even
the
before
Usos
the
to not be in top three, like the Young Bucks, they missed
they don't belong
like
on this list.
6 months.
They barely wrestled this year.
Yeah,
That is just the epitome of these fanboy. Whatever.
I'll
wanna
let
call
you
them.
guys do my bidding for me here. I'm not going to get myself in trouble.
no,
The
go ahead.
Tony Consman.
Yeah.
The Consman.
The con best on interviews. How the hell do you have John
not
Moxley
this
in the
year.
top 5?
I don't know.
He rambles.
Oh, boy.
The rambling writer.
I'm going to bleed. And go
Yeah,
out.
and I'll say it again this show, and I know it's not a popular take. You know, I was a bigger fan of Dean Ambrose on the mic than I am John Moxley.
Me too.
Yeah.
And the people, oh, he was goofy. I said he had a character. His character now is just angry man that bleeds a lot, like you said.
We're
See,
seeing
actually,
here-
angry depressed, more like angry depressed man. He seems
Yeah.
upset. But it doesn't make any sense.
Oh, boy.
They wouldn't let him do that. They held him down. WWE. Yeah, the man's face was on the side of
Eddie
buses.
Kingston?
Well,
Well, I mean,
I would.
I have no problem with that.
I'm not going to argue with that one.
I can't.
Listen, I know
deflate my
Tarek
hometown guy.
on
you
your
know?
other shows polluting your mind with this Eddie Kingston garbage that he spews out of his mouth. However, Eddie Kingston, say what you want about the ring stuff, because sometimes he's sloppy and he looks sloppy, but his mic work is amazing. He's an amazing artist on the mic, and he's believable, and he's real, and he can tell a story on the mic. He's very much like
His strength, yeah.
it's his strength. He is
That's what makes
the
him
great-
stand out.
He's the great value Paul Heyman. No, he
We
is.
talk- Well, we talk about, you said about different people, maybe not the best in the ring, but you don't need that. It's not just about the move set, like I said, or the work rate.
My
brother.
favorite AEW main event build-up was Kingston and Moxley. I
Okay.
loved it. It was real. It felt real. To the surprise of none, promotion of the year. AEW, 480 first place votes. And then Stardom being number 2. Who the fuck watches Stardom?
Apparently, 270.
Everyone I know but me and you too, apparently. I don't know.
I don't watch it.
All right.
I don't have
I would
time.
be, I would actually be okay with New Japan being number 1 here because I can understand that.
Right.
But to have AEW as number 1 when they had arguably their worst year that they've had in their company's history says a lot about this particular readership. The people that read these publications.
I mean, because even Dave himself of late apparently has been very down on AEW and actually more positive on me than he's been in a long time. I think he even put out a statement. He was a little shocked about it. But
It's
again,
okay.
when you train your audience to hate that company for years, like he did, going all the way back generations ago, 80s, even in the 80s, so even at their top, he had something to complain about. UFC finishing in the top 5 somehow, even though it's not a wrestling promotion. But again, they do cover UFC. They do cover UFC. There was a time where Dave was more into UFC than wrestling before, they took Tony Khan took his allowance and decided to start
Buying.
basically start Ring of Honor, but with money. And now he owns Ring of Honor, so that's the irony there.
That is true. That is true. That's damn true.
And here we go. Best weekly TV show. The fact that anybody voted for a Rampage, I swear to God, you might want to go to the doctor and get your head examined.
Your head
I
exam.
don't care how many 5-star matches you think you saw on that show. It is like the most useless show on television right now. I will say it.
This is the weekly wrestling verdict. The banner is up. I forgot the banner.
Impact, way better than that, guarantee. I know people don't watch Impact anymore. It's a show you can watch every week and it's solid and it's fine. But
Okay.
it's still
So-
SmackDown number 2. I was a little surprised by that. So
Match of the year.
we all had our answers. I know that.
Okay, so Okada and Ospreay. They're good matches. They're not my favorite match, that's for sure. But I can
Fair enough.
respect it. I this list isn't terrible.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same. It's like the match and the rematch. Gunther and Sheamus is arguably the best pound for pound match of the year. But when you want to put together the thrill of a match, I would put 2 matches in this top 5 in the conversation.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Roman Reigns, Logan Paul.
Yep.
And the Hell in a Cell match with Cody and Seth.
Yep.
That has to be on there. Has to be on this list.
Big
Yeah,
time.
because I think it was all on all our list. And actually, funny enough, I voted for FTR and the Briscoes as my match of the year, but the number 4 on this list was mine because we voted before the third one had come out. But yeah, I don't know. United States and Canada MVP. What are these awards?
This is such a weird.
These are
award.
redundant awards.
We're just gonna scroll past the Japan MVP, the Mexico MVP, the Europe MVP,
That's a little. That's
the
like
Hodge Award, non-heavyweight. Okay.
God, this is like just so like pretentious. I think our awards are more legitimate.
Of course. Now, granted, I've never seen her, but she's like 20, I heard, and she's a prodigy. And I'm sure her and
I've seen a
Mercedes
little
are going to put on a show. I think it's in April for the title.
Yeah, I mean Mercedes.
Okay.
She had her comeback last week. I did see that match with Kyrie. It was very good.
I mean,
Surprisingly,
if this guy was not number 1,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah.
wait,
You can't argue with that.
wait. I'm looking at this top 3.
How is Cena
John's-
too, though?
John
He
Cena had
wrestled
like
one
one
match.
TV appearance.
Punk should be
Punk
number
still
2.
made it, but that's obvious because look what's happened since he's left.
One, the feud of the year.
I can understand that one.
I can understand it. I can understand 2nd, 3rd. 4th and 5th, I do not understand. The Elite Death Triangle was a bunch of matches. It really wasn't a feud.
A bunch of matches, and the best one was the first one. And it's not just because I was there; it's the fact.
Yeah.
Once that, you didn't need to see it 7 more times. 6 more
How
times.
about the Roman bloodline storyline? The feud with essentially Brock and everyone else.
You could have found a way to throw that in there. You could have done, you could have said Bloodline versus any one of those people. Brock, Seth and friends. I mean,
Yeah.
Seth. I'm Drew and friends at the War Game. Yeah, I guess that would have probably broken it up.
Most
Whatever.
improved, the Acclaimed. No issue there. I think Jamie Hayter probably should have won, being honest. I think that's who I had as most improved. Most charismatic. How is Roman Reigns not number 1?
Yeah, that's that one. I would argue.
How is Roman Reigns not number 1?
Because
I can even say people seeing Sammy number 1, but MJF charismatic.
No,
He's had the
MJF,
worst run he's had in his career so far. Right
This
now.
is terrible.
And it's not necessarily all his fault.
He's
but
run by.
It's just, and of course,
And who was this?
another Stardom wrestler, another female wrestler. in the
Julia
Stardom
Gulia?
promotion.
Julia Gulia.
Nice
from,
reference. Yeah, we're gonna get
White
all.
singer?
Yeah,
Julia
thankfully, our
Gulia.
audience isn't the people that would get mad at us for this. Let's
Can
see. And
we-
of course, my favorite award here
The Bryan Danielson Best Technical Wrestler
was
Award
won
was
by-
won by Bryan Danielson to the.
I mean, to be fair,
surprise of no
to
one.
be fair, they renamed it after he had retired because, Dave Zamarki fell for that whole retirement angle. But as I said yesterday, Josh Alexander, yeah, he had a good year. I'm glad to see somebody vote for the guy. Daniel Garcia. I don't see it. He's talented. I just don't see it in him like everybody. Tony Khan clearly doesn't see it with him either. He keeps burying him.
Bryan Danielson won an award named after himself. All right,
Of course he did.
let's go.
I should show you. Where's that picture I sent you yesterday? of him? Put that up on the screen.
It's just comical. at
Then
this point.
we'll show former winners, and it's all Bryan Danielson.
I mean, I'm not going to argue against it as far as being. But you know what? I'll tell you. Do I care about him much anymore as I used to? No. And that's sad.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's not impressive. You know what was impressive? Him getting over with his charisma
On the big stage. And his comedy. And his comedy.
was great. And he got it over. He could be comedy and get it over as a main event too, and not be like a joke.
Best brawler goes to a guy that stands outside.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough. That's all he does, so that's fair enough.
Enter ring. Go outside. Bleed.
I'm over it. When's he taking a break? He said he was taking a break. He needs to take 6 months off. I'm tired of seeing the guy.
The Sandman of this era.
God.
Jonathan Moxley.
This is what he wanted to be. What? Maybe
I
Vince wasn't so crazy after all when it came
I
down.
can't wait for this El Hijo del Vikingo to sign with WWE and his name be Juan Perez.
And then everybody will hate him.
And his mask will be off and everyone will hate him. Yeah,
Just like
exactly.
About to.
I mean, how's Ray Phoenix not number one? How is he not number one?
Because even amongst the consmen, as we called them, the independents and international are going to have an edge even on AEW because you have to love. You can only love people that are not American. Yes, because that's that silly sports entertainment, guys. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
there is no difference.
Okay, so this freaking list, I have some real issues with. Number one, I don't have an issue with. That's fine. I agree.
I don't think anybody is overrated Tyrus.
How is Austin Theory overrated?
Because you have these people that claim they're smart marks that are still marks and believe, oh, he was Vince's guy. We talked about this in the show.
How
is Roman Reigns overrated?
How is CM Punk overrated?
Oh my god.
These morons. That's what they are. They're morons.
You know who's overrated?
First name Mo, last name Ron.
Let's tell them. Let's tell them a little secret, guys. You know who's overrated? Everyone you like. Guaranteed.
Yes. Yeah. Because if you saw them in your local grocery store, you would think you could beat the shit out of them. And if you think you can beat the shit out of that person, they're overrated in my book. Would Darby Allin scare you if you saw him?
No.
Okay.
No.
And I
have seen him.
Yeah, we've seen him.
I stood next to the guy. Definitely not.
Yeah. All the good guys are all the.
And it's not like we're saying we can't handle like smaller guys. They won't take them serious. We're not saying that. Clearly, over the years, we've had our favorites, and some of them have been not necessarily the biggest guys, but just to have that just like bias against them.
So how many people did Tony Khan pay off for Takeshita to win this this award?
Well, it would have helped if he didn't, book him to lose every single match he has on AEW.
Hate to say it, but Ricky Starks is not underrated by any means.
No,
he's getting the
if he's under pushed, maybe that's what they
he's under pushed.
That's your boy TK's fault.
He's getting the shine he needs.
Guys,
Ricochet, no. Ricochet, no. I'm sorry. Ricochet.
Running down this list. If you have any thoughts in chat, let us know.
I'm sorry. Chad Gable, yes. Ricochet, no, he's not underrated.
No, Ricochet.
He's good in the ring. Can't talk. Has the charisma of toast.
He cannot talk. They try to let him, and it was
Ali has way more charisma than Ricochet.
Yeah,
So,
Honestly, Ali should be the number one.
Chad Gable definitely Ali.
Him
Maybe
and Gabe should be 1 and 2.
Gable is like an underrated MVP of the company.
Rookie of the year,
I think that
Future
with our stuff.
future world
JML's
champion,
boy.
Braun Breaker. And people are starting to sour on Braun Breaker on the internet too. And
Of course
I don't know
They
why.
do. Which is funny considering these people on the internet say they don't watch NXT. So the fact that they're saying they're souring on him, I'm confused.
Hook, Logan Paul.
That was all in our. Oh, that was my top 3, wasn't it?
Logan Paul.
I think I had Logan Paul number 2.
Solo, top 5.
Fair.
Yeah.
I
Who's
can't
the
wait for
drama?
Solo to actually have a
Real.
real
Mocha
run.
Inaba.
He'll be fine once he's on his own.
I don't know. He's related to Akuta Matata. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I had that confused for a second.
Sorry, if you guys watch these stuff, we don't. It's great. Watch it. We just don't have the time. I mean, there's enough wrestling on every night of the week as it is. You want us to watch?
I don't
it
need
more.
to stay up to 3 a.m.
As
to watch
non-wrestler Paul Heyman.
Akuna Matata.
If you want to recommend us a match, we'll check it out.
Anabi Huwababa.
Anyway, best non-wrestler.
Okay,
Okay.
that's fine. Okay,
Yeah.
I
I'm not
mean,
gonna argue with that.
I can't argue with that. But how is Rick Ross 5th?
I mean, he was pretty entertaining, but I mean that's a bit of a stretch. He had like 2 appearances. It was very
Don
funny.
Callis being 3rd. The dude
Was not even on
didn't
TV.
appear much.
Yeah, Stokely. Yes, I love. He's always entertaining, especially on his social media. But
Best television announcer, Kevin Kelly. Was he doing New Japan? Is that why?
yes,
Is he doing New
that's
Japan?
it.
Okay.
That's the only reason. Because remember when everybody hated him 20 years ago?
Let me tell you,
And The Rock used to
Excalibur.
make fun of him.
Excalibur is freaking awful. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
Welcome to
I'm over
AEW
with that, man.
Dynamite. Oh, look at this toupee Suicido. And I'm like,
He's not needed. But his biggest contribution is yelling matches at us at a fast rate of pace until he almost passes out.
And the whole gimmick with the mask, can't
Very
stand
funny.
it.
Like Taz and Shivani together would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Riccaboni is good. I
Yeah.
actually think he's good. Taz
Pat,
is
we
good.
know we love Pat on this show,
But
but
how is McAfee not the number 1 with the bullet?
I know he took time off, but he was there most of the year, so yeah.
How is he not number 1? Has there ever been a television announcer more over than Pat McAfee?
Well, he'd be number 1 if he worked for New Japan or All Japan or whatever. I don't know.
Corey Graves gets so much shit.
I know. They hate
Why?
him so much. He used to be loved, too. He's another one they turned on.
They turned on because they think he's a shill for the company. And you know what? If WWE was paying me like, I don't know, $2 or $3 million, whatever he's getting paid really well.
Who isn't a
I would
show
be
for
a
the
shield.
company they're in?
Their favorite, who's also me and Charlie's favorite. I don't know where Frank stands with him. Chris Jericho is the biggest shield in the world. Whatever company he works for,
Yeah,
he's
he's
the,
really good at it.
I'm wearing a Jericho shirt.
So Booker T is the worst. He's great at many things. Announcing
Announcing is
not
not
his
it.
strong suit.
Nope.
JR
No.
is also getting really bad.
Yeah, I'd rather listen to Booker than JR. Booker is bad, but at least he's funny bad. JR is just bad. He
Michael
sounds depressed.
Michael Cole, when he's
is
licked,
actually
How did he make this list this year?
he's
When is
doing
Mike-
well now.
when Michael Cole got Pat McAfee, it was like
Magic.
he had a brain replacement, and he got someone else's brain, and his commentary got infinitely better. It was
Yeah.
almost like when Cole was with Taz.
Right.
Yeah.
Even before, they said, like, even before he's turned into IWC, Michael Cole started making references once it was out of his ear. He was doing a lot better with Pat, like you said, because he enjoyed his partner for the first time in how many years? Kevin Patrick, he's just a generic guy.
Michael Cole and Corey Graves don't deserve that shit.
You know why? They think he's a shill and he's being a heel announcer,
Yep.
which apparently you're not allowed to be
Yeah.
anymore. They don't understand nuance, I guess. He's cheering, he's rooting for the heels.
For sure.
Like the best of all time, Bobby Heenan used to do.
Yep.
Yeah, this is funny stuff. Booker T sometimes just says most nonsensical stuff, and it just makes me laugh.
This should just be called the IWC Awards.
That's what these are. These are people that says these are the people that claim they don't watch any WWE shows, yet they can vote for them as worst stuff,
Yeah.
and they don't watch it.
Oh boy.
Gotta love it.
This is why we're doing this, folks, because I think the instant reaction of us scrolling is better than us just talking about it.
This
Yeah,
is very
so-
painful.
No, I'm just laughing. I'm not even angry. I just think it's
Best
pretty typical.
major wrestling show, the
Yeah,
show
this
where
one- yeah.
half the AEW roster couldn't compete on this show, and half the roster that did got injured. So this was the best show.
And there was a bunch of multi-man matches because they didn't want to, have anybody lose too many matches. It was a good show, but to be best show,
How was WrestleMania Night 1 not the best show?
Revolution was considered. Oh, that's the one with the Punk MJF.
Revolution was good.
It was good. So
And-
honestly, so was Full Gear. I probably approved that more because I was there live, but either of those were really good. WrestleMania Night 1 was definitely towards the top of my list for sure.
Speaking of wrestling, we have
Clash of the Castle.
break spots left for wrestling.
Interesting that made it number
I'll
5.
be
in
in
the
on
list.
that next week, JMO.
Worst, okay, I agree with this one.
Yeah, the Rumble was weak last
The
year.
Rumble
Yeah.
last year was the drizzling turds.
It was god awful.
But you know what? I would have voted for GCW there against it because that was such a hype show and it was terrible. All the NWA shows have been pretty bad, especially that particular one. Ric Flair's last match. Well, that match was bad, but the rest of the show was pretty decent.
Well, the worst thing that happened to the NWA, first off,
was
was
the pandemic.
the pandemic. They were
Yeah.
on such a major hot streak, and the pandemic happened,
They
and
lost all their talent.
they lost Starks, they lost Kingston, they lost a ton of
Everybody.
people. Best wrestling maneuver, the Hidden Blade. Really? Is that the best wrestling maneuver?
Apparently.
Wardlow. Come on. It's a power
What would you
bomb.
guys? What would you guys say is the best wrestling maneuver?
don't even
I guess it
think
would be the
about that
finisher,
anymore.
right?
Honestly, Adam Page. I think Logan Paul did a better buckshot lariat anyway.
The F5, in my opinion, is still
But it's still
the best.
Yeah. But even so, with Logan Paul doing that better, it's a silly move. You're doing just a flip into a clothesline. The flip
The
makes
One Winged Angel. I give him credit. It's
They
a very
protected
cool
that move very well.
move. It's a very cool move. The
Darby
coffin
Allin
drop,
would be
No.
cool if the guy didn't weigh 50 pounds.
Powerbomb Symphony. It's cool when the crowd is into it.
They're not anymore
They're not in. No.
because they
Now the new thing is, they cut
cut
his
his
hair.
don't know what they're doing with him.
Okay.
They just completely moved on because he got another shiny new toy to focus on.
Most disgusting promotional tactic. Vince McMahon appears on TV after sexual misconduct allegations. Okay. WWE Saudi relationship.
A relationship that's been going on for how is that even still? We know.
Ric Flair's last match. Stephanie McMahon
Yeah.
demands goodbye to Vince McMahon. What was that? I don't even know what that is. What does that mean?
That was the
When
day
he
that
stepped
he
down.
was announced he was retiring. That she went on TV and had them chant "Thank you, Vince." So that's terrible because it's her father.
It's her dad.
No, but you remember you're not innocent until proven guilty, unless you like
AEW. This is the one that really grinded my gears. AEW not punishing CM Punk after Adam Page call out. Adam Page started the freaking thing first.
Oh, I was gonna say I would have said the whole thing. They're not even talking about All Out. They're talking about when he went on TV and mentioned Adam.
Yeah.
We talked about it on the show. We had a whole episode when this was in the middle of going on. We said this is going to end well. He's got to rein this in, and he didn't. We saw
a whole episode. I mean, I think we did like
several.
a whole month of coverage.
It kind of like kept going and going and going to another.
Worst TV show, Monday Night Raw. Very interesting. I would not say it's the worst. I would say Rampage is definitely the worst. And
Yeah,
then probably Power.
You can argue it's too long, but again, they're saying, well, you know what they're saying? Well, we know it was bad until the summer. Again, because these people, like we've talked about before, have immediately said the minute Vince was gone, suddenly it was better, even though it wasn't. We've argued that point. It's just
Worst TV show.
doesn't belong that high on the list. And I know Charlie doesn't like it anymore, but come on.
I don't know. Worst match.
You know what
of the
NXT is now? NXT is 2014 NXT essentially. Which
worst match of the year.
How is that even like voted for?
How is number 2 not number 1?
Yeah.
And how is number 3 not number 2? And how is number 4 not number 3?
Yeah, I mean you're right. Vince and Pat, did they even qualify as a match?
It technically yes. However,
it went 2 minutes, didn't it?
It was shenanigans.
It was a setup for Stone Cold to come out and give him the worst man.
It was like saying The Rock and
Rowan,
what's his face? And Rowan had the worst match of the year.
That's just another because they just have to put because they hate Vince. Again, I'm not making excuses. They're saying Vince is the innocent man, but they just hate him, so they have to hate him.
Worst feud of the year. Any guesses before I slide it?
Worst feud of the year. I would say
it's got to be WWE because they hate WWE. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say if I was to pick, I would have picked Bray versus himself. I would have picked.
I know what it is.
I would have picked everything Jericho did this year.
I know what it is.
What?
Miz and Loomis.
Oh yeah, of course. And I'm not making excuses for that either because it went on too long.
It's pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
It didn't bother me because I know these guys, but just knowing that it just didn't make a lot of sense.
How is this not number 1?
And well, I guess that was towards the end. Yeah, I was going to say just in general, everything he's done. This is Sammy and Scorpio Sky. Yeah, that was a mess. The Gacy stuff that was pretty bad too.
Worst promotion of the year, to the surprise of none. WWE, who's had record-breaking 2022.
Makes sense.
CYN was only 3rd. That's just that right there is just as they say haterade. They're drinking it. Well, they're drinking
it. On 3, best booker. 1, 2, 3. Tony Khan.
Snowman.
Tony Khan.
Their god. Their wrestling god.
Roshi Ogawa, New Japan, right? No. Stardom. Paul Levesque, number 3. Oh, whoa. That's New Japan. Gedo.
Yeah.
And who the F?
Should we look that up?
That's like putting Frank Solo in JML at number 5.
Yeah, we probably would. That'd be like me voting for the backyard promotion two cities over.
Promoter of the year. We saw her. 1, 2, 3. Tony Khan.
Oh boy.
Who we think
his worst year?
2? Who works for number 2?
Who does number 2 work for?
Dana White. Number 3.
That's kind of shocking. But they hated
Nick Khan.
How is Nick Khan and wait?
Nick Khan's a promoter. Did you know he's a promoter? I didn't know he was a promoter.
Oh boy.
Best gimmick. I seriously have no clue what the best
gimmick should be. The Bloodline, right? Or it should be something related.
It should be. Correct? We're gonna say Bloodline, all 3 of us.
Sammy and the Usos, I would say.
Sammy nice.
Although I don't know if it's really a gimmick, but hey, we'll take it.
The Acclaimed. Danhausen's terrible. So they
listen, guys. If Danhausen was
better than Bloodline and Roman Reigns,
yes, somehow.
The Acclaimed is better than Bloodline and Roman Reigns.
Well,
Charlie, I will tell you something.
1 and 4 the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. No, they wanted to separate Sammy. You gotta no, they wanted to separate it. They had to separate Sammy because they can vote for him because he's one of their flippy favorites from the Indies.
Worst gimmick. It's
Danhausen.
If it's not Bray Wyatt, I riot.
You're gonna riot.
Maximum male
That makes
models.
sense. That's fair. That's fair.
No, it's not. It's actually entertaining in a weird way compared to like, you know what I'm trying to say? It's not like worse. Like we've seen model gimmicks before. This is nothing new.
It's like Fandango and Tyler Breeze when they did their thing.
And they like that. So no, like
yes,
of course, fair. That's fair. Sorry,
Kip Sapien. Okay.
Yeah, he's terrible.
Yeah, I like that. Only number 5.
Uncle Howdy's apparently worse. Let me just put it this way, like I was going to say, but the male models, if that was on Being the Elite, these people would be voting for best gimmick. Just saying. Or any of this stuff on this list. If Uncle Howdy was a Tony Khan creation.
Best pro wrestling book.
I haven't even heard of Blood and Fire.
Oh, Dave's got his own book on the list.
Of course.
Enough.
The Brian Gewirtz book, okay.
I
haven't read any of these yet. So.
I want to get this one.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
That should be a good one.
Blood and Fire, not a movie about me and John Moxley. Or both.
Tales from a Terror. All right. So
if we ever tagged up, that would be our team name.
That's the awards in a nutshell.
The Vince McMahon one, that was terrible. That was just recycled footage from other Dark Side episodes. God. Anyway.
Listen.
Vince McMahon bad, Tony Khan good. Remember that.
That's the lesson of the story here.
It is the lesson.
Or
it is the lesson.
Anyone in New York. They still try to go on.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all.
If you would have told me that it wasn't people actually voting and it was just them themselves putting out this, I wouldn't be surprised.
They probably, and it shows how low their subscriber base is.
Right. I mean, why would you subscribe to any of these things when it's just reported ad nauseum around the internet afterwards? Why would you join Fightful? Why would you join the
Oh, I can't wait. Did Fightful release theirs?
I don't know.
When we'll do, you know what we'll do? We'll do a live reaction. Like none of us can read the list ahead of time.
Wait, why are all these lists coming out so late? We did ours
right on February.
Even the PWI results came out already. The magazine's on newsstands, which I find that more legitimate than the Wrestling Observer Awards.
Crazy. Got new stickers in the mail.
Nice. There you go. When I enter one of your breaks, your sticker is going on my laptop.
Do you want a signed spacer with the sticker?
Absolutely.
Actually, I already have one of the old stickers on my laptop. I'll throw the new one on there too.
It's a variation. We're still going to keep the other one.
Yeah, we got to
change it up.
Send me all the stickers.
He's gonna put them all over him and just walk around with them until people naturally ask, "What is that?"
Funny you asked.
You ask. Oh, this thing.
Little sneak preview, guys. Little sneak preview. I think I showed this off air. Little sneak preview for tomorrow.
Awesome.
Boom. Look at that. Little sneak preview, folks.
Awesome.
JMLExperienceShop.com.
Yep, and obviously the black bar is where the team list and stuff will go. So
nice.
Yeah. Doing, we have to step the game up a little bit. We're still a small channel, but we've grown rapidly, and thank you for all of that. And
absolutely,
with that growth, you'll see these changes and tweaks to different things. Like this show, I'm going to figure out one day how to make an overlay for this and let it stick on StreamYard. Me and Frank have played around with it. I don't understand how to do it. If anyone in chat can teach me how to do it, let me know. Or if you guys want to produce the show, because I can just add you as an invite and you can take the controls and do it, let me know. That being said, it's going to be a very busy Saturday. I'm getting hungry. I haven't ate. Good night. Good luck. What do you guys want to say? Anything?
No, I'm good. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing.
Yes. Thank you, and thank you for subscribing to us, and thank you for leaving comments, being in the live chat, and leaving better feedback than we see on the Wrestling Observer. I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Good
You're the
night. Good
best.
luck. See you next week.
Peace.